from Green Dudes Studio in top secret location that we cannot disclose. We're going to jump into the podcast right about now. Hello and welcome to Paradise. This is the Green Dudes podcast, the only Green Day podcast that matters. That means you're here with me, your host. My name is Connor Mack, and I am here with my best pal in the Green Day verse, my Green Day comrade in arms, my BFF, FF, 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 FL, my dude wife for life, and my esteemed partner in not just crime, but in business, along with Mr. Billy Joe Armstrong, of course. This is Connor Kelly on the second
Hey,
mic.
hey. You know what I was just realizing? You're
Yeah.
kind of you're going a little slower today. Not in a bad way. Kind of like a nice, warm, soft spoken radio host doing you're like on NPR. You know,
Yeah.
it's good. It's
Yeah.
nice. But you always add in all those extra Fs, and I think the idea is like, oh, like not just a best friend, like a super best friend
Yeah.
forever.
Mm-hmm.
But BFFL really just stands for best friend for life. So really the whole
Yeah.
time you've kind of just been saying like best friend 4 4 4 4 4 4 4. Like if anything, shouldn't it be
Yeah.
like B best best
Mm.
best 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 but
Yeah,
because
that's
if
true.
you're adding in a whole bunch of extra F's, it's like what does that even what's that even like exaggerating or adding on to?
Well, I think you're taking for granted what some of those F's stand for. You might not be I don't know if you're correct in that assumption. So, well,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
you know,
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong about the Fs.
there's just we've never seen it laid out,
That's true. Yeah, there's a lot of words in the English language that start with F. It could be any number of words.
plenty, plenty, plenty that apply as well. So, I mean, uh, that's for me to know and for you
Yeah.
to just think about.
To think about, yeah, it's something to think about. The only language that actually has more words that start with F than English is Dutch.
Oh,
They have
wow.
words like Verlargenstugen.
Yeah. And that means, of course,
BFFL. Best
uh-huh.
friend for life.
There we
That's how you
go.
say it in Dutch.
That's the origin of that term. The Dutch they're known to be
Yeah, yeah. I don't even know what you said, but yeah, I'm sure the Dutch are known to be that for sure.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Connor, how are we doing today? In this on this fine Monday evening.
Yeah, it's Monday evening, but I'm easy like Monday morning right now.
Oh
So
wow,
I feel
nice.
went
Is that
past
how that song
Sunday.
goes?
I know I went straight past Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm into Monday.
Usually it's manic Monday.
Yeah, that's right. Um,
So you're not having a manic Monday, is what you're saying?
no, I'm not. No, my Monday's pretty good. Although I do really like Billy's cover of that song. I listened to
Yeah.
uh fuck, what was that?
Well, it's not just a manic Monday, but a no fun Monday. No fun
No
Mondays.
Fun Mondays. Thank
Yeah.
you. Wow, it's on the tip of my tongue. I listened to that recently.
Nice.
Went back to it. Still a lot of fun to listen to.
It
Still really
is. Yeah.
cool.
No. It's those are all great covers. It's really fun to put on every now and then. And I forget if we mentioned it on the podcast at all. I don't think we did, but after Brian Wilson died,
Hmm.
Billy Joe posted his cover of "I Get Around" on Instagram. That
Right.
I think he originally recorded around the same time as the other No Fun Mondays during the pandemic, um, and just it wasn't included. I think it missed the cutoff. It was never released, and that was really cool. I'm not sure if you listened to that.
No, I did actually. I saw that when he posted it on Instagram, and it was cool. Billy really is. It's really funny to like kind of take a step back every now and then and think about like this isn't just some punk rock loser, even though he's all those things. Of course, it's like he's really ingratiated himself into the annals of rock and roll history, and it's like it means something when he posts a cover like that. Like that's it's he's like part of that conversation. Like it
Yeah,
matters that he had that cover, that he posted it in the wake of Brian Wilson's passing. It's like that's not nothing. It wouldn't be nothing, by anyone's standards. Anyone, covering a song or doing that, it's like that has meaning to it. But it's like,
yeah,
Billy really is like kind of like a modern day peer in that regard, right?
yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I think that's a great point. Yeah, I think as he kind of ages into or eases into his like position in rock and roll history, which is now cemented. I think he's always like had an appreciation for the great rock legends, but I think as he gets older, he it's I think it just he shows off that appreciation more and more, and yeah, it's cool to see.
Hmm.
Connor, we've had a couple weeks off. It feels like,
Yeah, we have.
yeah. I think the big thing was that we were gonna do an episode last. I think we really just missed one week. We had one week that we were late, and then just
Yeah,
missed the week after that.
that's right.
Um, and my excuse is that we ended up recording like 5 episodes of our other show. It feels
Yeah.
like 5 episodes. We recorded a lot back to back, and so I was just like really podcasted out, I think.
Yeah, podcast burnout is real,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, it didn't work out. Unfortunately, we did lean a little too hard in one direction, and that's okay. Sometimes that's just the way it is. I think it was good to have a little more time, um, in between Babs Uvula Who and this one because
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like I've been kind of having to like psych myself up a bit to
Yeah.
talk about 86.
It is kind of a big one. And we'll get into it. Connor, Green Day, they're still on tour. I don't know when this fucking tour ends.
It's the never
Um,
ending tour.
it's a never ending tour. They're back in the States though. They just played Minnesota yesterday.
Yeah, the birthplace of soda pop. So that's
Oh
cool.
yeah. Yeah, it's the birthplace of soda pop and also where Billy Joe's wife Adrian comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I'm mentioning that because yesterday, Connor, they played Youngblood for the first time since 2017.
Wow, that is really sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a nice little 80 dedication there.
Yeah.
Just a fun one to throw into the set. Like, I don't know. It's cool. Um I just wanted to mention some other cuz they've been like doing this thing where they're throwing in fun little rarities. Billy Joe played "Missing You" acoustic in at the show before that in Ottawa,
That is
which
really
is
cool.
pretty
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, that's the first time. That's the first time since 2013 they played "Missing You," or he played
Wow.
"Missing You."
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Um, and then they've been adding in. I was there, like every couple shows since they brought it back, which is really cool. Yeah. So I mean, I just a fun little tour they're doing where they're and they're throwing in like stuff like Revolution Radio, which isn't really a rarity. They do kind of bring that out every now and then, but that's a fun one to have in there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like it got a song from the trilogy here, a couple songs from Rev Rad there. It's honestly, the way that these things go in cycles. In another 5, 6 years, I think we're going to be seeing some foam songs back into the set.
Yeah,
People are going to be going like, "Wow, I can't believe they're playing Sugar Youth right now." It's going to
I
be
know, right?
really
Yeah,
really sick.
yeah.
So
It's gonna do a we're gonna do take the money and crawl acoustic before Good Riddance.
yeah, it's like you need a little more like temporal distance. Because
Yeah,
there was obviously a lot of undeserved uh, fan backlash to that record, but it's like with so many of these things, given enough time, that kind of fades into the background, and who's left. It's the fans who appreciated it,
yeah,
and who want to hear that stuff live. And I think they know, and not that they like are dying to play foam songs and they're not doing it. It's like obviously they could, but I could see that coming back around in much the same way that pull out a trilogy song here, pull out some Rev Rad there. I think
yeah.
maybe.
No, I think there will come a time where that is happening, and I can see. I mean, we've even already we've got Graffiti. When they came back and started the Saviors era, they did pull that out a couple times. So it's like we will get that. We'll get they'll bust out "Meet Me on the Roof." I'm just gonna list all the foam songs that I
Yeah.
want
Yes.
to hear live, just every one.
yeah.
Um, yeah, no. So I maybe on the next tour, maybe when they go through the next album cycle, we'll see a few popping up here and there. That would be pretty cool.
hmm
Yeah. I don't know, Connor. Any other little Green Day related tidbits or anything that you've come across in our break?
No, honestly, I've been kind of out of the loop. I don't feel like I have anything to report unless I'm just forgetting something, which is always a possibility. But uh, I don't know. I don't think so. I did look
Yeah.
at some stuff. They did like a summer merch drop that
Uh huh.
I looked at briefly. I was like, oh, American Idiot shorts, maybe. And I'm like, nah. And then it kind of got me looking at some of their other stuff. I was reminded of the American Idiot 20th anniversary deluxe box set edition with like
Yeah.
the Blu-ray, you know, documentaries and all the vinyl, and I was like, right, right, I gotta get my hands on that one these days. But that's about it. I was just looking around.
Yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot. I'm gonna have to beef up my collection at some point when I have the means to.
Right,
Um,
when you come into some money,
when
some
I
some distant
when
relative kicks the bucket, right, and
yeah,
bequeaths
when
all their inheritance to you.
my long lost great great cousin grandpa.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We have our regular grandparents, and then we have our cousin grandparents,
Yeah, yeah.
our
That's right.
great cousin grandparents. So when I get my inheritance from them,
hmm
because of course they are a king in a different country, uh,
It might even be
I'll be able
Dutch.
to. They might even be a Dutch king.
We stand a Dutch king. Yeah.
We stand a Dutch king. Uh, I'm just assuming that's the case because I
Yeah.
just can't foresee any other. I mean, what else would they be?
Yeah. And how else would you come into money?
Well,
Also,
that's the thing, and
that's about,
and it
it's
has
the
to,
only option, I think.
yeah, and it has to happen. So it's like, why even
Right.
bother thinking of other possibilities?
No, yeah.
Um,
Clock's ticking.
yeah, but no, there will come a time where I'll be on the prowl and collect some stuff again. Not now. Probably when everything is way too expensive and they're so rare and not in print anymore, and so I'll have to spend like thousands of dollars on everything. Um, but it'll be worth it just to have it there on my bedside table on my deathbed. Um, anyways, Connor, today we are talking about 86, which happens to be the seventh song off of Insomniac. Um, and according to the GD Wiki, it also has a very limited release as a promo CD.
Oh,
Interesting.
talk about a piece of Green Day merch that'll set you back $1,000.
Yeah. I mean, is this promo CD available for purchase anymore? Can I go on eBay and search 86 promo CD and get a result?
Probably, right?
Maybe, or is it just in the hands of radio executives from the 90s?
Hmm.
Maybe there's just a few people who are holding that privately. I don't know. Um, could I go on eBay and get somebody who burnt a CD copy of 86 and they're selling it, telling me that it's a radio promo? Maybe.
Yeah.
Could I
I
do that to
see.
make
I'd
money?
actually. How could you do? Yeah, you know what? Maybe that's actually not a bad idea. That
Yeah.
is what you could do. While you're at it, maybe get into like ticket scalping. And
Yeah, become a scalper. Yeah.
yeah, like
The
maybe
only
that's
issue with
your
scalping,
pathway.
well, you need to have money to do. You need to buy the tickets first, right? Or I guess I don't think they even do that. Actually, they're just like, oh, I'm going to put up the listing, then I'll figure it out.
Right, yeah.
I think some of them just do that because some of those scalper sites they put up the ticket listing before they're even on sale, so they're
Hmm.
just betting that they're going to be getting the tickets.
Just for the record, when I go onto eBay, they do have like promo CDs. Um, but it looks like they have one for warning, or sorry, for waiting. Um, there's one for minority, uh, but they're actually cheap. They're really not that much money at all. I don't think anyone cares, but I don't see the one for 86. So maybe that is $1,000. Who knows?
Yeah, if that one pops up, it'll probably be $1,000.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Who cares about warning, right? It's like,
yeah, well, that was a flop, anyways.
yeah, have better
We don't
luck.
talk about that. We don't talk about that record.
You'd have better luck trying to sell some foam promo CDs.
Well, I was saying, warning. It's it ain't no foam. It didn't do quite as well as foam. Um. Anyways, I don't even know what the relative success of the. How do you compare those two records' success? We're gonna get off this tangent because we could talk about this for a long time. But
Yeah, right. It's like the two different points in their very different points in their career. Yeah.
yeah, but like like I guess you can compare chart positions, right? Like because with sales, like obviously Warning sold like 500 times more than foam because people were buying CDs back in 2000s. But
Hmm.
like other than that, like what's the metric of success? How do you equivocate that?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have the answers, buddy. We'll
Yeah,
just we'll have to talk about that as we talk about it. You
we'll
know,
think about it.
the
Um,
great warning foam comparison debate.
Yeah, if any of our listeners want, like, if you have like spreadsheets of this kind of thing, or just keep it all in your head, or it's like fun for you, please let us know. Like, please give us a breakdown of
It does make sense to compare those two. Like Warning sort of is like the original foam
yeah.
for Green Day in a lot of ways.
hmm It is. I mean, they changed their sound. There was a backlash. They were, kind of panned for it, and then came back with something stronger. Obviously, two different sounds we're comparing, but no, I think the point remains.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Um, Connor,
Yeah.
86. Let's get into it.
86. Yeah. Let's do it. Enough beating around the
Um,
bush.
yeah, enough beating around that old bush. Uh, Gotta trim that bush every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Yeah.
okay, okay, all right. Uh, Connor, let's dive back into your past. Okay,
Yes. Yeah.
let's time travel a bit. Um, as a kid, tell me a bit about your history with 86. Any memories you have of it, or thoughts about your relationship to it when you were just discovering Green Day, and you were a wee lad, a wee
Yeah.
laddie.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. This is a song I've always liked. I have talked about how like on Insomniac there are there's kind of like in my mind this group, this category of songs on it that not that they necessarily sound similar, but they in my mind kind of like embody um like this edgy punk rock sort of styling and structure that was, you know, like a straight shot of adrenaline to me in my early adolescence. And 86 is very firmly within that camp. Now the difference is I have also mentioned that like with a lot of those songs I hadn't really considered like the lyrical content or what the song was about. So like with a song like Armitage Shanks or a song like No Pride, I would have told you back then like, yeah, these songs sound awesome, but I'm not sure I would have had that much more to like say on like what it was about, or you know, do I get anything out of the song other than like I just think it's cool. But 86 is a little different because I think this was like one of the early kind of like trivia Green Day songs too, where it was like, oh well, you know what 86 is really about, right? You know, um, and and so I think that you know, while I wouldn't really have like been thinking very deeply about it, like I appreciated this song because I thought it sounded really cool when I was a kid, and you know, it felt like it was representative of um or almost like proof of like this trivia fact. It felt like that I knew about Green Day, you know, where it's like, oh well, after the huge success of Dookie, you know, they get slapped with the sellout label, and then you know they're banished from their punk rock scene. They can't play at Gilman anymore. They're done. You know, they're 86. That's where that song comes from, man. Did you know that? Did you know that? I would have been the guy on the message board just being like, oh, well, you know what this song's really about, right? You know, and so it was cool. You know, I liked in kind of like an annoying uh you know, like 14-year-old pretentious kind of way. Like I felt like, yeah, like I know that about this band that I'm just getting into, and it made the song feel a lot cooler to me too.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It's a fun one to learn the background of, and I think you're right, Connor. You wouldn't. Well, I guess you will believe. Uh, Pretty much all of the YouTube comments are like, "Did you know that this song is actually about Gilman?" And um,
Yeah, it's
I
still
mean,
happening to this day. It's yeah, those
it is, and I mean,
there's
the
one
funny thing
born every minute.
is there's quite a few of them that are they're just like very confidently wrong about it too. Like, and we'll get to that at the end. But yeah, it's a fun little piece of a piece of Green Day lore. I always think of when I think about our Green Day journey as adolescents, um, is they played this song on David Letterman, which I remember watching this video on YouTube where Billy has like really not bright red hair, but like he has his hair dyed a deep red color, and it's like in spikes and stuff. And
Right.
um, they play this on Letterman, which is cool because it's not a single. Yes, it was released as a promo CD, but it's not a single. Um, and the performance was like it was really electric, and it's like maybe the twitchiest I've ever seen Billy on like a late night TV show performance. So that was always that was kind of burned into my memory. And then of course, every Letterman performance, Trey does something wacky at the end and runs out and does something crazy. That's his thing. But that will always be in my mind. That's an iconic performance to me. Um, Connor, now as we have gotten older and lived with this song for quite a few years now, more years than I have fingers on my hands.
Hmm.
Uh,
And toes.
and toes. Yeah, actually, yes.
Put those
Uh,
together. Yeah.
I only, I mean, I do only have 8 toes, but that's
Yeah.
fine. Connor, how are you feeling about 86 these days? Any changes or thoughts now that you have kind of grown with it for all these years?
Yeah, I still think today that this song really rules. I think it is a really special song. And yeah, it's I don't know. I think what I find myself appreciating about it, like as I've gotten older, is like the way that they're able to really blend these like a song that musically, like performance wise, is really energetic, really fun to listen to, but with like kind of like this cloud looming over it. And and the way that, like, as we get into it and like talk about the individual performances, like I think that there's kind of a lot going on here to give the song this sense of like melancholy to it, but like it never sounds like a sad song. And I I just really it's like um a cool combo. It's and I don't think that it's easy to do necessarily, to essentially like make a sad song. It's different from like when people are like, oh yeah, I love songs that like uh sound sound cool but the lyrics are depressing. Like 86 is not that. It's more about like they have this fast-paced song that like the tone of it, even regardless of like the lyrics, what it's about, like it's the tone of it that, like, despite the speed and the power and everything, still like translates that there's like something weighty and and uh and something like disruptive and powerful, like all at the same time. And that's something that's really stuck with me the more I listen to it.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's a good it's a good example of kind of what Insomniac does. Because I've said this before because you're right. A lot of people will point out that Green Day is very good at doing pulling the trick where it's very sunny exterior. You know, a song that is like major chords, kind of catchy melody, upbeat and poppy. But yeah, then the lyrics are like dark and uh, you wouldn't think that if you weren't reading the lyrics of the song, you could sing along and be unknowing the entire time to the dark reality in this guy's mind.
That's right. Yeah,
Um,
his twisted psyche. Yeah.
this twisted psyche. Songs like Basket Case, kind of that kind of thing. And
Yes.
here on Insomniac, they kind of do, they kind of throw that away, and we're kind of left with just the without the masking, I guess. And this is a good example because yeah, with like the melody, I feel like it is kind of it is melancholy and it's interesting because this song is like anthemic in its own way, but it's not I I don't know. A lot of the songs on Insomniac are kind of angry
Hmm.
or like we said, nihilistic or self-hating or whatever. And this is kind of just like, I mean, for lack of a better word, like sad or like regretful or I mean there is bitterness in here too
Yeah. Yeah.
and a little bit of ire but yeah, no, it is kind of dour in a way and yeah, I think you can tell just by the like the chord progression too. um yeah, Connor, let's dive into some of these individual components here in the song. Of course, there's only one instrument we can start with on this
That,
song.
that's the drums, baby.
That's the freaking drums, Connor.
Yeah.
Uh, this is I don't know. This is like one of my all-time favorite Trey drum intros
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah. It's awesome. Right?
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're a Green Day fan, like you know immediately what the song is. It's incredible. Connor, give me some of your thoughts on Trey's performance here on 86.
Yeah. I like it a lot. It is a really, really fantastic effort on Trey's part here. It's another one of those like, I it's not about the complexity. Like as I was going through and like listening to Trey's playing here, everything is like very fast. You get like the machine gun fills and the rolling drums, and the song really doesn't let up except that brief abrupt a moment just before that last chorus, where he has those everything kind of drops out and he has those big punctuating hits. um I really like this Trace playing here because it's like it's just like barreling through the song. um it's kind of another one of those performances like to me it's almost like the drumming equivalent of like I don't it like it feels like there's like 20 brick walls in front of Trey and he's just like smashing through them one by one with his head somehow. Like that's what this makes me think of, and it's such a stupid way to like try to get across this feeling of like what is the playing like here, but like ultimately like what Trey's doing is pretty straightforward. You listen to the performance and like you can hear what he's doing, but it's basically just yeah, like I think it just kind of like smashing through everything in a way that's really really satisfying. I mean, and it's not quite the same either as like when we were talking about how like, oh, there's so much like power behind his playing with other tracks. Like that's still here, but I feel like with his playing here, it's more to do with just like this incredible momentum, and yet that he has this control over it because you get the sudden stop, you get everything crashing back in. um yeah, it's really cool. Trey just creates so much energy, within this song. He's part of what makes the song feel like, oh yeah, this is like a really sick punk rock song, right? And then it's like, and yet there's still like this somber kind of feeling to it that like Billy and Mike kind of provide. But I think Trey is like all the forward momentum and all the power and all like the that punk rock like kind of structure. I feel like that's what he's really bringing to the table here, and it's really good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think if there was like a triumph of this song, I think the drums. That's what Trey's performance here is. Yeah, it's I don't know. When we keep on saying this for certain songs, but like it just really fucking sounds so good. Like
Hmm.
the drum production on this record is just incredible. Another great example here. Not just the intro, but the entire thing. I also really like Trey's use of the ride cymbal here. Like I wasn't really too cognizant of that just until listening today. I think just during the verses, I love what he does with the ride cymbal. I think the ride cymbal is underutilized a lot of times in this genre. I'm a big fan of the ride cymbal. Um, so that's like a new thing that I kind of just like thought about today.
Hmm.
But yeah, he kills it, and then the ending too. The ending of the song we'll get to, but I think they all kind of end powerfully. But the drums at the end are very cool too, and we shut this song up pretty effectively there at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, all right, let's move on to. I mean, I think we're gonna do the guitar. We're gonna jump into the guitar next.
Okay.
Um, this is another power performance. I think it's what a fucking I don't know. It's all muscle on this record, really, with the
Hmm.
guitar. Um, Connor, what do you think about Billy Joe's playing here?
Yeah.
Not
It,
just the
it it
playing, not just the playing, but the strength of the guitar tone and all that as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's apparent right away, with kind of like the riff that the song keeps going back to, that. It's it does feel like a more like melancholy take on like the classic Billy riff that we keep referencing. It's like if you played this just like a step up and a little bit faster, there's no reason this couldn't be on 39 Smooth.
Yeah, absolutely, Connor. You're that's it's such a. I was just thinking like, what a fucking great guitar riff, and all you do is like you just change the fucking yeah, you just take it down a half step or something, and it now suddenly has this dour melancholy feel to it. It's
Hmm.
just a really brilliant move.
Yeah. And you know what else is funny about it? I think this like every time, because I love this EP so much, and anyways, it's the same fucking riff as what they play on "Aching to Be" off of "Shoot the Moon." It's
Wow.
Yeah,
Now that you say that, you're right. Wow. Yeah.
yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
exactly the same. I think about it all like I'll be listening to 86, and it feels like it should have that simple little. I don't know. They do like this simple little lead guitar riff. It's like on
Yes.
on
Yes.
Aching to Be. I'm like, if you
Yeah.
just stuck that in there, it'd be the same fucking song. It's
Yeah. That's a
so
great point. And then also jumping off that, Connor, and this is not a one to one, but
uh
you creep up the neck of the guitar a little bit, and then you're playing Rusty James.
oh. That's
It's
funny. Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's a little bit higher up, but it does have a melancholy feel as well.
Yeah, no, you're right. I see what you mean. It's something about that, right? Like
Yeah.
that. Obviously, that's all like music theory and shit that goes completely over my head. But
Yeah,
it's,
we're
but,
kind
but,
of music theory guys.
but you
You
don't
wouldn't get it.
but you don't have to know that shit to like understand it innately. You know, it's like
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, like someone can like break
Because
it
to be
down for
clear, we
you.
don't.
No, we don't. We don't. We don't.
If
And you
you
know what?
couldn't,
And we never
if you
will.
couldn't tell at this point, I mean,
Yeah. And that's okay. You know, I respect music theory guys, but yeah,
oh
we've
yeah,
always been very, very firmly just feel it out, man, kind of guys.
yeah, yeah. That's
So
our choice, to be clear.
yeah, no, of course we could obviously we
we
could
could
do whatever the fuck we
we
want,
could
you
pick
know.
up we could pick it up in a second if we wanted to.
Yeah. But we don't want to. It's the
Yeah,
thing. We
that's the
never
thing.
never wanted to.
No.
Um but yeah, you know, so it is funny though that yeah, not only does it feel like a classic Billy riff, but it's like yeah, he uses it in other places. You know, it's something that he comes back to. Um yeah, I don't know. And talking about like all the muscle, all the power in this song, I think about that during the verses because those palm muted
Yes,
downstrokes are just like so chunky, driving, um, just perfect. You know, it's like exactly what
definitely.
you want that to sound like, and it's just as satisfying as you. I don't know, as as you would want it to be. It's like we talk about like that perfect guitar tone on Insomniac, and it's like it's moments like that of just hearing like how I don't know, like how like crisp and full it feels to hear that palm muting in the verses. Green Day's discography is full of great palm muting. It's not just on
Uh huh.
Insomniac, but like this is a really this is like a high point. I think it's
It
really
is. Yeah. Yeah. It's I don't know why because I have that in my notes too. The palm muting, and it's such a basic thing. It's such an easy trick out of Billy's bag of tricks he has. Um, and God, it's used so effectively here, and you know, obviously like we got Basket Case again. That's like the classic Billy doing these palm muting with like the you know unexpected kind of strikes. You know,
yeah,
the
exactly.
you know, it's like just like I don't know. It's just even guitarists who are great at palm muting, they're really great at just the that kind of consistent uh thudding and thumping, and but like you know Billy's you know powerful use of like stabbing is that's what I'll refer to it. That's actually the term in music theory.
Right,
Stab.
that's the music theory term,
Yeah.
definitely.
Just it's like a tiger pouncing on his prey or something, you know? It's like it's so good here. It's I don't know.
Yeah, and the other thing too, like as someone who like has never quite gotten the same like I can palm mute, you know, folks, but
It's true, guys. I have seen him palm mute. He can do it.
you've
He
seen
can do
it,
it.
you've heard it. I can
Yeah,
do it.
he can do it.
Um, it's not just a music theory, you know,
It's not
skill.
just for theory guys out there.
Anyone could do it, you know. But my point is like as someone who's played and like who has tried to emulate, you know, what Billy's doing, um, it's it's how do I want to put it? Uh, not only is it like deceptive because you would think oh it's easy, but it's kind of like Billy's so good at doing the wrong thing that I think it loops back around to
Yeah.
being unique because it's like he pretty much only does downstrokes when he's palm muting, and I
Uh-huh.
remember like taking guitar lessons and like showing my guitar teachers like Green Day songs and being like this I want to try to learn how to play this. Anytime there was a palm muting section or whatever, they'd be like, okay, palm mute it, and then you do the up and down stroke, you know, and that's like how I learned how to do it, because like in a guitar teacher's mind, that's more efficient. It's less
Yeah.
effort for like quote unquote the same effect. But that's the thing. It's not the same effect. And Billy's able to play what like you would be able to do up and down stroking, effectively double time, all
Yeah.
downstrokes, you know.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
I think that's like part of the secret sauce as to like why it always sounds like so fucking good when he does it.
Yeah.
It's because like
Absolutely.
he's just like sharpened, you know, this like really really, again, like deceptively easy skill into something that like I don't think a lot of people can actually do the same way, even though it is like ultimately a very simple skill. But it's like it's the like the way he does it is not how most people would try to get the same effect.
Yeah, no, that's a great point about the downstroking. I think that's a big reason why, you know, you watch covers of Green Day songs and they sound just a little bit off, you know. Because they do have the guitar teacher who is, up and down. That's because, yeah, I guess it's more efficient. It makes more sense. It's easier for a lot of people. But yeah, that's why I just don't do uh, up and down palm mutings. Like, I mean, unless I want a very specific sound.
Hmm.
And so that's like how I taught myself to palm mute by like emulating Billy Joe and emulating Basket Case and songs like this. And it is difficult. And I've also noticed as I get older, it gets harder to do. Like, it's harder to do. I'm like aging, and I'm not as fast as I was.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying I was ever a fucking master at it or anything, but like it is difficult. And I think if you don't use that muscle regularly, it gets harder to pull off too. So yeah, it's impressive to me that Billy at 50 3 or whatever his age is at this point, uh that he can still just like flawlessly play, Basket Case every night. Like, that's incredible to me. It might not be to everybody, but to me it's like, wow, that's
Hmm.
you know he is a well-oiled machine, this man. Yeah, so great guitar on this track. Fucking love it. Sounds just amazing too. We have cool little things like pick slides too, a little bit of
Oh yeah,
pick
right.
slide in here.
In the beginning
Um,
there, yeah.
exactly, yeah. Yeah, let's move on to the bass. Connor, Mr. Mike Dirnt.
Yeah.
Uh Mr. Michael Dirnt. How are we feeling about his outing here on 86?
Uh really really good stuff. Um my takeaway from like these recent listens getting ready for our podcast here is like I think I think Mike is sort of like the secret weapon to giving the song this feeling that we keep mentioning, the melancholy feeling, the dour feeling. Because when I sat down to listen through the song and tune my ear as a professional music theorist, specifically tune my ear to isolate the bass with perfect acuity as I am able to do, right?
Which you're able to do after many years of professional listening.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, did you see the poor girl who got lambasted on Twitter for like trying to show that she can do that? She's like, I'm able to like hear the different like beats in the song
No,
or whatever.
no,
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
It was stupid, so I'm not going to give it any more credence. But it's like the internet is such a dog pile machine, dude. Just
Yeah, it's
it's like a
bad.
a whole bunch of like bottom feeders just like waiting to rip apart a carcass at a moment's notice, you know.
Why say anything ever? Why just do
Yeah,
anything
I don't
anymore?
know. I mean, here we are, Connor. Why do we fucking
Why do we
record
do
our
this?
opinions
Yeah.
and then put them out into the internet. How long until our number is up? Until someone's
I
like, "Oh wow, these
yeah,
fucking guys, huh?"
exactly. And Connor, there is so much meat on the bones. There are
Ooh,
so many there are so many
yeah.
examples. Oh my god, they would have a fucking
Oh
field
yeah,
day.
yeah. If anyone was ever spiteful and hateful enough to listen through, I think that's maybe the only thing we have going for us is there's so much
Yeah.
like the level of vitriol, the level of like pure unbridled rage you'd have to feel towards us is so
Yeah.
insane given the amount of content that we have. No one would ever go back and listen to all of it just to
Exactly.
fucking hate us.
They would get bogged down by the weight of the
Yeah.
just the vastness
Just
of our of the
yeah.
vastness and just the fucking slog it would be to get
Yeah, no,
through
just
to pick to
the
find the
highs
perfect
and
moment.
lows of quality. No, that in fact,
Yeah.
I think that's exactly why we can't stop. If we ever stop, then they'll be like, okay, we can comb through this. But as
Then we're
long as
sitting
we
ducks.
keep going, right? As long as
Yeah.
we keep going, it's gonna be like, nah, there's no way. I can't do this.
We
I
just
can't
gotta
do this every fucking week.
add keep adding to the pile
Yeah, yeah. It's our
just
only
to fence them off.
protection. Yeah, it's our only
I
protection.
agree. I think that's a great point.
Yeah. At any rate, I was gonna talk about Mike. I was gonna talk about Mike's playing
Yeah.
here. Um. Oh, right. Okay. I think that he's really the one. Um. Yeah. Not the only one. Like, of course, it's like we also like always talk about how like, oh, hey, the way they all come together, the way that they're able to bounce off each other, and like all of that's always going to be true. But yeah, my big takeaway from listening to Mike here, because I was like trying to talk about what he was doing specifically, and I was like, oh, okay, like he's kind of playing this in the chorus. I can hear that. Oh, I can hear what he's doing in the verse, but like when I tried to put down some notes and really think about like what he was playing, uh, I was really coming up short with like describing the specifics of like his performance, and I kind of realized it's because I think like what he's able to accomplish like emotionally is not only more interesting, but like I don't know, like it sounds stupid, but it's like it's kind of like that's isn't that like sort of ultimately the point anyways of like what you're playing like as a musician and as an artist. It's like yeah, you're gonna have people who are trying to pull off like really technical and impressive tricks. Yeah, music theorists, some people call them. But ultimately, you typically want your performance to translate into some kind of emotional resonance with your listener, and it's like I think Mike completely nails that here. And I was really floored listening to what he was doing in the chorus because it's like, yeah, you get that really thick bass and the really low register. I can imagine what he's doing, but it's like I think the melancholy comes from Mike sort of like secretly playing this much sadder song underneath what Billy's doing. Like we were talking about what Billy's doing, and it's like it's a classic Billy riff for the most part, but he tweaks it a little bit. But like if it was just that, if it was just the guitar and the drums and the vocal performance, I think you would still be like, yeah, this song, there's some sadness to it for sure. But I think Mike's the one that's able to really drive that all home. I think this is like his ultimate side quest so far. And it's not because it's a huge departure in the playing, even though like he's not following the guitar. This is not just I'm going to do the same thing as Billy. You listen to what he's doing, it's distinct. But the real deal here is that to me it almost feels like he's playing a different song. Like Trey and Billy, they're playing 86. Mike's not playing 86. Mike's playing like Lament for Punk Rockers Past Life underneath the whole thing. And I think that's like the real, it's like the hidden blade, and I thought that was really interesting. That was my takeaway on Mike's bass playing here.
Yeah. That's great insight. I mean, because a lot of the times we think of, we give Mike his accolades. We say, oh, he's the best bass player in punk rock. He's one of the best bass players in rock and roll history in my eyes. And all that it's very, very true. I think some people would even say, oh, he's known for his fun and quirky bass lines like Longview or stuff like that. But Connor, you're right. Like I think he does on tracks like this, he cuts to that emotional core and really kind of it's like reading between the lines, or it's like an actor who is like so good that like they are acting and performing and talking with other actors, but the real performance is like in their facial expressions.
Yeah.
um that's what Mike's doing here. And uh I don't know if I've ever thought of it in those terms, but you're absolutely right. He has this kind of core of sadness where like both Billy and Trey are like we mentioned that there's some ire and some spitefulness here, and like some like headstrongness and like oh I can't go back, like fuck you, I'm leaving. And but yeah, Mike here, he's playing the song where he's like, well, those are all my friends. Like I like what I can't ever see my friends again in this place.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
have to leave. I'm being exiled
Hmm.
from the one place that I found belonging. Like,
Yeah.
and it hurts. Uh I think I think you're spot on. That is kind of where we get this undercurrent from. Um yeah, and it's cutting. And yeah, I think Mike here, he does so many great accentuations, uh as he always does, but here especially, like you said, kind of, they're kind of, he's doing the side quest thing, playing uh slightly different song to the other two, and but complementing it. And Connor, I'll tell you, I was playing bass like all of last night. I had the night
Hmm.
off, so I was recording bass.
Nice.
Uh, and God, it's just hard to fucking it's hard to think of cool bass lines that really work and complement songs. It is like it's a talent, and I don't know, it's a hard thing to tap into. I'll get lucky once in a while and be like, "Oh, that sounds really cool," but
Hmm.
like nothing on this level. How do you do this? How do you get to this level? I don't know. It's beyond me.
No, I wonder that too. Especially, and it's like I figure a lot of the times I think, Billy's kind of like, hey, I got this song, here's how it goes. He's playing the rhythm guitar. And so it's like, I don't know. I mean, obviously there's songs that they must like collaborate on organically
Yeah,
together. But I do think a lot of times, like, Billy kind of has like a batch of songs that he's like, this is
yeah,
kind of what I got going on. And so it's like, I think like Mike really does have this difficult task of having to fit into something that again, it's like, it's not that he doesn't have say on it, but it's like, there's sort of like this predetermined mold that's kind of already there. And it's like, yeah, sometimes, depending on like what effect they want to have, oh, he might play something more simple and just to amp up the guitar and this. But it's like, yeah, what a difficult uh thing to be faced with, to effectively have to like play a different song alongside something that's already there, and to have it still stand out, but like, you know be in that lower register and hold down the rhythm. And I think there's a lot of things that comes with being a bass player that it almost feels like this world of contradictions. It's like, oh yeah, well we don't really want to hear you the same way as the guitar, but like, oh, but don't just play the guitar,
Yeah.
don't do that. Then you're a bad bass player. And it's like, well,
Mhm.
what the fuck, man? But yeah, Mike, obviously he I'm floored listening to him all the time. But yeah, it's kind of an unsung role, I would say, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Um, well said. Connor, any final thoughts on the instrumentation here before we jump into lyrics and vocals?
Um, no. Why don't we do that? Why don't we get to the lyrics and the vocals?
All right. You want to start us up with the song?
Yes, yes, I do. It goes something like this. It goes like, just tell me the words I
Words
might
I
have
might have
known,
known,
the words
the
I
words
might
I
have
might have
known,
known,
the
the
words I
words
might have
I might have
known.
known. Connor, are you on Genius with me?
I am, yeah, I am.
Do you see this fucking cover?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
the
Who
fuck
is
is
that?
this?
Who is that guy?
Is this the promo CD?
That
Is
was the
this the
promo
cover of the
CD
promo
art.
CD?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
What the fuck? I've never
Yeah.
seen this before.
No, and I can't even tell if the guy has like fake teeth or if they're just that fucked
I
up.
know.
It's hard to
It's
say.
really weird looking, folks. If you
Yeah,
haven't ever seen the 86 cover art, I
yeah.
guess is it official? I mean, maybe. It's I'm trying to think because this guy's got a hat. Okay, it's a guy with a hat and sunglasses and big weird teeth,
Yeah, yeah.
and he's wearing a Green Day hat. And
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of like what that logo is. Is that like?
well, he almost looks like he'd be in the Nice Guys Finish Last music video,
Oh
like
yeah,
one of the Green Day sports fans. That's what it makes
I
me
could
think
see
of.
that. I could see that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, if anyone has any information on this guy, I would like to know his story. Uh, Connor, any misheard lyrics or lyrics here that you were not aware of until recently?
Yeah, just one. I think this is the song that I have known the best out of all the Insomniac songs we've discussed so far. I think 86 is the song that I knew the best, but I still don't know 100% of it. The only line I didn't know from 86 was the second verse when Billy sings, "Purchase your ticket."
Okay.
That's what I didn't know. And he says it kind of weird. It's like, "Purchase your ticket." I don't know. It's like the way he breaks it. Always wondered what he says there because I'm like, okay, never show your head around again. Got it. Quickly take the last train out of town. Got it. Did not know what was in between there, and it's just purchase your ticket. That was it.
Yeah, I do think the way he specifically sings "ticket" is a little bit weird. It kind of doesn't sound like that word.
Yeah, yeah,
It almost sounds like something like "take in" or "tick tick tick in" or something. I
yeah.
mean, I don't know. I this is one of the songs where I have been pretty intimately familiar with the lyrics, but I do think at one point I think that might have been a trouble area at one point for
Hmm.
me. Um, Diving into these lyrics a little bit more in depth. Any thoughts on this? Obviously, we've kind of brushed up against this the meaning of the song here, and I think we'll get into it now. We're 86. Uh, Connor, the term 86 has been in popular culture or in the discussion recently. Were you aware of that?
No, no. Why has that been coming up?
There has been a popular movement or sentiment shared online. I think most popularly by this guy, James Comey. Have you heard of this guy? Have you heard of this clown?
Uh,
He's a lawyer and former director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
yeah, that's right. Yep, I
And he
remember.
shared.
Yes,
You remember, yeah?
I do.
How could we forget James Comey? Well, no, I
Yeah.
mean, really, obviously, this is there. There's things that happen in the real world, and we're aware of them.
Of course.
Um,
Just like we're music
uh,
theorists. Yes.
yeah, exactly. He posted on his Instagram, I think, like a couple months ago or something. He posted 8647, and that caused a lot of backlash.
Uh-huh. Yep, I see.
Do you have any idea what he means by 8647?
Yeah, he wants to kick the president of the United States to the curb, man.
Yeah, yeah. 86 means, to get out of there, kicking somebody out of an establishment, or if you've ever worked at a restaurant, this is how I really this is what comes to mind in my head is
Mhm.
when you 86 a menu item at a restaurant, it means it's you don't have that item anymore. It's not in stock. So the kitchen will say 86 carrots, and that means there's no carrots left. So
Right, right.
if somebody orders carrots, you got to say no, sorry, we don't have them. So that's what that means to
Yeah,
me. Uh,
and in fact, Connor, because I have wondered for my whole life, like, why does 86 mean that? So I Googled it, and it's Wikipedia says in the hospitality industry, it is used to indicate that an item is no longer available, traditionally from a food or drinks establishment, or referring to a person or people who are not welcome on the premises. Its etymology is unknown, but the term seems
yeah.
to have been coined in the 1920s or 30s. So when I was hearing you say that, I was like, man, that's funny. I've never heard it that way, but that is actually the original context for it. So very interesting.
Well, there you go. Yeah, and so I think the issue with with this James Comey fella tweeting or Instagramming this is that some people took that post to mean that like he wanted to kill the president.
Yeah.
They thought it meant like an assassination attempt, which I don't know. I think that's kind of a crazy reach.
Right, yeah. It's like, okay, just get him out of office is obviously the implication of
Exactly.
86. Yeah.
Exactly. We don't want to harm a hair on this guy's head.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, no one was trying to kill Billy, Mike, and Trey,
No,
for doing
that's exactly right. Even though I think there is some lore that says, "Oh, Billy Joe saw graffiti in the Gilman Street bathroom that said Billy Joe must die," but
mm,
uh, you know, uh, and at this point, like Billy Joe in the Gilman scene. So okay, so this song is about them being 86 from Gilman Street. They're the club that they grew up in. That they found belonging. They got their start in. After signing to a major record label, because that's a big no-no. The rules at Gilman are you can't no major labels. If you sign to a major label, you're out of here.
hmm
Um, and so, Connor, I would say Billy Joe in the East Bay punk scene in the mid '90s. I think he had a target on his head bigger than the target on Donald Trump's head. I think he might have been even more hated.
yeah.
If you can believe it, or if I mean, I know it's hard to believe, folks, but
From a very small specific group of people, yes.
it's like a group of like 50 punks in
Yeah,
Gilman that
right.
just despised him
Yeah,
more than
it's
any living
obviously
being.
it's not the same like spread of, it's like
No,
there's a lot of people who fucking hate the president.
yeah,
Uh but do they hate the president in as much as those 50 punks hated Billy Joe back then? Yeah, maybe not. Maybe
I
not.
know.
Their hate was distilled. It was very
It's
pure.
exactly. It's distilled and directed and just, I mean vile. It's
Mm.
yeah, so that's kind of the origin of the song here. And that makes it a sad song, It's I don't know, Connor, what are your thoughts on that? Obviously that's the story we kind of brought up earlier in the podcast here.
Yeah.
What cuz obviously, this is all about decision making and Green Day, they made a choice. They did make a choice to sign to
Yeah.
a major label here. um they had to have known uh
Right. They knew what
Gilman's
was coming. Yeah.
policy before doing so. Obviously I think some of the hate and the ire and the blame was maybe unfounded and extreme. It's a lot to process, obviously, being kind of cast away from your tribe. What
I
being
love all the Green Day puns. It's fun.
there we go, being voted off of Survivor,
Yeah.
essentially. What are your thoughts on that on on that story nowadays?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's one of those. It's like, yes, it's like I'm sure they knew it was coming, but I still get that, like, the emotional response, the pain and the exclusion. It's like that's still there. It's kind of similar to like when someone's going to pass. There may be times in your life where someone's time is almost up, and when it finally does happen, you're not left there like, it's all right, I knew it was coming. It still is going to have that impact. It's different maybe because you knew it was going to happen, but it doesn't mean you don't feel anything. And so I think that Green Day, they're still like vindicated, in like how they felt, despite their
Yeah.
decision. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think that's true. It's obviously pain. The amount of pain is understandable and justified, and I mean also their decision. It's like I don't know how many of us in their position would have made a different choice. Like if you want to play music for the rest of your life and you want this to be your career, I just don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's
No,
it's
it's
uh
it's absolutely true. Um, because yeah, one, how many of those bands from that era are still going? You could, if they even have a Wikipedia page,
yeah.
uh, it's like they'll tell you that they stopped playing in 96 or whatever. That was it. There's a lot of like beloved bands, and that's kind of what is right. There's like sort of an ephemeral, like effervescent kind of feeling to that time. I think if all those bands stuck around, then it wouldn't really uh
Yeah, it wouldn't be the same.
it wouldn't be what it was. Obviously, it's like it's because of that, that I think lends it, um these feelings of legitimacy, and that's fine. But it is kind of funny because one, we've already talked about how like even just the nature of selling out doesn't really exist anymore, and like how much the discussion has shifted. But like it's even funnier when you consider that, when we went to go see Green Day just on their last tour, right? It's like Operation Ivy's opening up, or sorry, Rancid's opening up for them.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and it feels like they kind of got like to cheat the system, or like they found the loophole in the punk rock contract or whatever, where it's like, oh well, Op Ivy broke up, so like they were legit, right? But then
Yeah.
you have most of the same guys come back together, form Rancid. I mean, Rancid saw like a respectable amount of success. It's like
Oh
they
yeah,
they still
definitely.
carry like, I think they always sort of like had a bit of both, where it's like, they had like their mainstream crossover hit that a lot of people know, Time Bomb, everyone loves that song. But then, it's like all the other, punks still felt legit and cool for listening to them. And it's like, where's the disdain for Rancid? Like, are there a whole bunch of Rancid fans who are like still bringing up the same conversation every, year after year? Oh, they're not really punk. They're not really
Yeah,
punk. Are they
I
really
know.
punk? I don't. I'm not sure that that's really happening the same way, but it feels like if the same thing's going to be levied at Green Day, then it might as well be directed at a band like Rancid, which is sharing a stage, at the exact same level, only because of Green Day's success, anyways. So I don't know. I if I think about it for too long, and I ramble too long, I really get caught in the weeds on this one. But because it feels like it's really all connected to that conversation of people always bringing it back to, is Green Day really punk or not? And like I think Insomniac is kind of the record where it's like there's this is like the crisis point. You know, this it's like it's kind of funny because I think in a lot of ways Insomniac is sort of, you know, not swept under the rug, but like this album does not have um you know, like a very tall stature when it comes to Green Day's discography as a whole. I think it's
No.
often like overlooked, but it's
Yeah.
perhaps one of the most important albums in their discography when you consider like the trajectory of the conversation around Green Day for what is right now still like the rest of their lives as a band.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's a huge it's a pivotal one. And going back to Rancid briefly, I think that that thought is interesting, and I did have the same thoughts when we were talking about this before you even brought them up. Um, First off, I want to say that, you know, since they were 86 from Gilman, they've been back. They have played Gilman since then. They as Green Day even multiple times. I think the first time in 2001, the most recent time in like I think 2017 or something. So um, they've bent the rules have been bent for them, and um, they've also like created kind of an ecosystem or been able to help sustain in the ecosystem that helps the East Bay punk scene thrive. And that has been a major priority for them as a band since they, uh, you know, fell into success.
Mhm.
And so I think over the years that's changed the conversation a little bit. And I mean, to the point, and I don't want to be this guy, but it's like, how many punk clubs like Gilman are still open?
Mhm.
Like even fucking CBGB's closed. Like,
Mhm.
uh, and I could be talking out of my ass here, really, but like, I'm not saying Green Day is not single handedly keeping this afloat, but I'm just saying, like, I think, you know, like a rising tide lifts all boats is a very it's a very applicable phrase here.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so I think they kind of help the overall scene in a lot of ways that we don't even realize. When it comes to Rancid, just want to I think the major difference here in the sticking point is that they never actually signed to a major label. Um, they were pursued by several labels, but they ended up going with Epitaph, which
Right.
is
Yeah.
a, you know, it's an it's an indie label. It's one of
Right.
the big indie labels,
They're
which
the major indie label, which is like still kind of rubbing elbows with
yeah,
a major
yes,
label, anyways. Yeah. Yes.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yes. Um, so I mean, it's that's all just like uh, I don't know, meaningless distinction at this point, you know. So,
Yeah.
but they didn't sell their soul, so you know, they get a pass. Uh, um, Connor, any lyrics you want to point out specifically here from this song? Um,
Yeah.
I just want to say like they're like this song might be like the most simple song lyrically so far. It's like
Yeah.
it's not as wordy or as descriptive, but I think that's one of its strengths maybe.
Yeah. I agree with you there too. Um, yeah, it feels like there's like something to the sparseness and the repetition that makes it like feel that much more somber. And I always I get that feeling right away from those first lines. You know, some of this has to do with Billy's delivery too, which we're going to be talking about as we go through these lyrics here. But you know, the way it opens, what brings you around? Did you lose something the last time you were here? Um, you know, I guess I've always uh just took this as you know, those people from Billy's past. You know, this is like from the perspective of those people that like were kind of left behind, and now they're seeing him come back. It's like, you know, what are you doing here? You know, um, and I just think it's a really like it's a really like cutting and clever way to to write the song. You know, it's like both verses don't have to do with like the feelings that they're struggling with, or both verses are written from the perspective of like effectively, you know, the punks who kick them out, who exile them. And like this, they're saying like this is what's being said to us. You know, this is like the response that we're getting from from like this place that we called home. Um and it's like that's really all that needs to be said. You know, it's like Billy doesn't have to dress that up or expand on that and like talk about, oh, this is how I'm, you know. It's like it feels like everything's there in those like two really concise um verses. So yeah, I really, I don't know, I just really love that whole did you lose something the last time you were here. um I don't know what it is. I feel like that's a lyric that it's not, I don't really have like a like something that I feel like I've mined from it. I think it's a line that I like because it's as like vague and cryptic as it is. It's like, you know, it's like this idea that like you've lost something that you know, it's not like you just dropped your wallet and you could pick it back up. It's like a piece of them is gone now, and like that's all there. Really good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I mean, I think there's certainly a piece of Green Day that was lost with, you know, during this transformation, during this um kind of leap of faith. Uh, you know, because we've talked before too about like, oh, what if Green Day was one of those bands that just had those two records on Lookout and then they broke up?
Yeah.
Like they would be a legend. Like they're legendary, but in a different way. They would be a cult, you know, favorite. Like, oh man, the best group that only had two albums and then vanished. You know, they like their mythic status, like Operation
Mm-hmm.
Ivy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so that was lost. That's a thing that could have happened and never will. And obviously, when you take that leap of faith, you're like, well, I'm losing a lot of goodwill for this. It's either going to be incredible or I'm going to make a major label album that fucking sucks shit and people hate, and then that'll be it. And the
Yep.
end of my story is that people fucking hate what I did, and then I got egg on my face, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, and so it was a gamble. It ended up paying off, but doesn't always pay off for these bands that make this same choice. So
Yeah, that's a great point. And you know, the real like stupid irony of it all is like whenever those bands, you know, who do break up or stop or for whatever reason, you know, they put out two great albums, they're gone. People always look back on that and they're like, "Oh man, just imagine if, you know, they could have kept going. You know, what would their body of work have been like? What would their next album have been like? You know, wow, just imagine the music they would have made. Oh well, you
yeah,
know." And it's like that's exactly, you know, essentially what people are criticizing about so many of these bands. And I for some of them, yeah, rightfully so. I'm not saying that every band that goes for the long haul has a, you know, a worthwhile like discography, but for my money, Green Day really does. And I think that yeah, I think that people are maybe really quick to sell them short and maybe not realize like what you've like received. I guess like given their output over the years. Like I again, it's like I think people are so quick. It's like you can't please, you know, some of these motherfuckers because they'll be like, oh man, just imagine if they got to keep playing. And then like Green Day is like the imagine they get to play
yeah,
forever, and it's like,
yeah.
you know, well then suck shit. If you know, if you only like the idea of something and you're not gonna engage with like what the actual art is, then you're really only shooting yourself in the foot. You're just setting yourself up for failure. You know, it's like you're not even really listening to anything at that point.
No, definitely. Yeah, Spot on. It's I mean it's just yeah, we've gained so much more than there was ever to lose that than they ever had to lose. You know what I mean? Like it's but I mean it's just, you know, the people that really were so staunchly against it never really cared, I don't think, about that, about Green Day's potential longevity or uh you know, them playing music forever. Like it's and I'm not saying that, you know, having a moral backbone, like uh uh that's an element of the punk scene that is very important and obviously long uh it's been around since punk has been a thing. But I don't know, it gets to a point where you know, it's you know, you're cutting off your nose to spite your face in a way, I guess. But
Yeah.
um, Connor, any final thoughts on the lyrics here before we jump into some segments?
Um. Ugh.
And I guess we'll mention Billy Joe's vocal performance that I keep on forgetting. We can briefly
Yeah.
talk about
Yeah.
that.
You know what? I did want to say one more thing about the lyrics, and I it kind of struck me. So when Billy sings "Stand aside and let the next one pass," don't let the door kick you in the ass. That whole line, "Stand aside, let the next one pass." It's like, okay, you know, your time, Green Day, is up in this community, in this scene, you know. But like the idea of let the next one pass, you know, it feels like considering like the other Green Days, as it were, that were like behind them in line, you know, all the bands they left behind, you know, either to die in well respected two album obscurity, or you know, to live long enough to maybe sell out themselves or whatever. But it was a line that really made me think of what you were talking about on um uh stuck with me and stuck with me, because you were saying like you interpreted that song to also be dealing about like this similar feeling of the pushback against them, you know, selling out. And the line from that song was "Find another pleasure fucker, drag him down to hell." I remember saying I had never considered that line from the perspective of like their experience in the major label music industry, and like Green Day's frustration of being in that ecosystem and saying like, okay, well, you know, you can like find some other artist to suck the soul out of and destroy from the inside out. And I feel like this line here in 86 is like kind of touching on a similar idea of standing aside, letting the next one pass. It's like, you know, whether or not Green Day is exiled or struck down or whatever, it's like there's, you know, it's a conveyor belt of bands ultimately. It's like there's someone else waiting to either be, you know, propped up and almost like sacrificed to punk rock legitimacy, you know, to basically, you know, only get so close as to look at the sun but never to touch it. Or, you know, effectively to be a sacrifice in the other way, of course, you know, for them to kind of like, you know, relish in like their destruction and their exile because they've sold out. It's like you only have two paths out of that. And I feel like this line also kind of touches on that idea that Billy's mentioning and stuck with me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's kind of cool. See, you know, these connections between these songs. We, I don't know. I hadn't really explored until this, until visiting this album for the podcast, which is cool. But yeah, you're absolutely right. That is there. And yeah, it's just like I don't know. It's tough because we're looking at all this from the perspective of like, oh, they did it. They fucking made the jump and they succeeded. They're Icarus, but they they touched the sun and they were fine.
Yeah.
You know, they touch the song. They're like, oh, it got a little too hot, but I'm okay. Um, and I don't know. It's like it just doesn't it just doesn't happen. It's winning the fucking lottery, and we can go on and on about how talented they are, and they fucking are. I mean, best song. They're in the discussion of best songwriters of all time, and I'm not being hyperbolic here when I say this as a fan of fucking music. I'm sorry, like I I'm a Green Day fan. I'm a huge fucking Green Day fan, but I really do think that. I do think that genuinely. Take my fan cap off. I think we're in that discussion. But I think they're in the fucking book with Paul McCartney and John Lennon. Um, I don't know. But it's like it just doesn't go. It just doesn't go that way. This is a lottery. The ticket that even the greatest musicians and songwriters in the world could make this leap and fucking flame out. So
Yeah.
because the record industry is fucking exploitative and uh, they don't care. To put it plainly, I don't think most C-suite executives care about. They don't care about that discussion of songwriting. They don't care if you could be you're in the book with John and Paul potentially. Uh, they don't give a fuck. You know, like
Hmm.
they'll chew you up and spit you out. So I don't know. It's just interesting because like the people that there are a lot of points to be made from people who are like, yeah, just don't do this. It'll like if you care about your legacy, if you care about art, maybe this is not the best choice. But Green Day did it and proved them wrong. Does that make that the best decision for every band? No, I don't think so. But in this case, it was, and it's so easy to look back in retrospect and be like, oh yeah, they proved all those motherfuckers wrong. Um, but it's just like it's such a fucking needle in a haystack that
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's there's so many things that have to go right. I get what you mean. Like it's not just that they're talented, which they are, like you're saying. It's like, and I think that we're kind of on that discussion too. Like even like especially actually when we were talking about Dookie, um, because it's like, yeah, Dookie is an incredible album. Of course it is, full stop. Uh, but it's like just like the ecosystem that they were coming up in as like the hot young mainstream new kids on the block. Um,
Not
they were
those new kids on the block.
no, not of course, no, not those ones. They're all right too though. Like Green Day was like really poised to take over like this kind of like uncontrolled space that no one even really knew was there. It's like to kind of burst on the scene and like kind of plant the flag for like pop punk. you know it's like this it feels like it really has more in common with like you know Western expansion, like when pioneers were like literally going to the West Coast. I guess oddly enough, because California, of course, right? But it's like it's like there's just all this open land. But it feels like in the music industry, I think Green Day was really able to like uh make a name for themselves in a place that like a lot of people didn't largely didn't even really know existed. Of course, that moment in time can never be recreated. But it's so much more than just Green Day being a great band. It's like it's a moment in history that they were able to like grab the chain of time and freaking drag along their course instead. And that is a very rare thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Yeah. Just briefly, Billy Joe's vocal performance here. I will say quickly that it's I don't know, this is a disenchanted, kind of angry, bitter but bitterly sad man singing this song. I don't know. Once again, he gets he understands the assignment here.
Yeah. Disenchanted's an excellent word to use. I think that's exactly what he sounds like. Um, we've been talking about Billy, like um, changing or molding his vocal performance for the song for as long as we've been talking about him singing. You know, like even on 39 Smooth, especially on like particularly on Kerplunk, I'd say it starts. But I feel like there's got to be some examples on 39 Smooth too.
Yeah.
And so um it's just one of those uh the emotion is legitimate, but I think it really goes to show like just how well like Billy has a lot of like subtle control of how he sings and how he delivers these things. And yeah, it's one of those things, you could very easily overlook it. It's not that it is hard to listen for. It's very obvious. It's front and center. Um, but I think that like the way he does it, if you're not thinking about it, it might not really register. And yet, like I think he does it in a lot of ways. Ways that even kind of go by invisibly sometimes. Um, and I don't know, yeah, I really like what he's doing here. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, Connor, I'm going to jump into a song. You can help me out.
Here we go.
A warning, live without
Have
warning.
we heard this song? Have we heard this song?
Have we heard freaking 86 live, Connor, ever?
Holy shit.
That's the question.
Holy shit. Man. I kind of think so.
Okay. You kind of think so. Any idea on what shows you think
I
it
feel
might have
like
been?
if I heard 86 live, then it has to be when I heard One of My Lies live at that 2016. If I've ever heard 86 live, then it has to be at that show. I don't think there's any other time I ever would have heard it. I don't know. I think it's possible. I also kind of feel like maybe it's crazy to think I've heard this song. Um, maybe there's like no fucking way I've ever heard it, and that's just fucking crazy. But I think it's possible. I'm gonna say yes.
All right. Well, Connor, you are incorrect. You have not heard 86 live,
Yeah, there you go. All right.
unfortunately.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what would happen.
I know. You're just throwing things out there,
I'm
seeing what
just looking to
sticks.
see what sticks. Yeah, exactly.
I have heard this song live once.
At the
I
Rough Trade Show.
No,
Oh,
no,
okay. Fuck me. All right.
at Irving Plaza 2012.
Yeah. All right.
Um, and they've only played it 3 times after that. Most recently, they played it twice this year actually, but before that 2017, then before that when I saw them in 2012. So, yeah, extreme rarity, but it should not it's like a song that's a rarity, but it like should not be a rarity.
Yeah.
Like it really shouldn't be a rarity.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they feel weird playing it nowadays. Now it's like everything's smoothed over.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Well, it's possible. Anyways, I don't think they should care. I think it's a great song. They should play it live, and I guess
Yeah.
they are now. They've played it a couple times on this past European festival jaunt. So, pretty sweet. All
So
right,
there's
Connor.
so there's
Let's.
hope for me. Maybe I will hear it one day.
Yes, there is hope for yes. It's possible now. The door is wide open.
Okay,
Could
that's going
happen.
on my list of Green Day songs I really want to hear live. 86.
Awesome. Yeah. Hell yeah. I think it's. Oh, you know what's funny? They played it. They played it at at Irving Plaza, and I'm pretty sure they like Trey didn't know how to play it entirely, so they had to start over. I think they got through the entire thing on the second time around, but to make up for it, they played 99 Revolutions like 3 times, which is really funny.
Nice.
That was a great way to make up for that.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Let's hear it from the anti-social media.
We are.
All right, I just got a few today. Um, there's just like so many repeats here. It's like so many people that are just explaining to you the story behind the song.
Yep.
Um, I'm gonna start with one that this is a popular comment that I saw. So I saw it multiple times, but we're gonna go with Grant Braden back 9444 from 5 years ago. Grant says, "There's no return from '80s sex."
There's no return from 80 sex.
From '80s sex.
Oh. Wow. Yeah, I don't like that. I think that's fucking stupid. It's really weird to say.
I actually don't think anybody ever really thought that was the lyric. I think it's just this guy's like, oh, it would be so silly though if like it would
Yeah.
be so silly if like he was saying '80s sex instead of
Yeah.
'86. You know.
Yeah.
Um, and Connor, this was a very popular comment. A lot of copycats.
Really?
Very dumb.
Huh.
Uh, Next up we have Rusty Shackelford 667 from a year ago. This is a twist on the comment of somebody explaining the story,
Okay.
uh, and you'll see what the twist is. Rusty says, "Fun fact: This is about a record company who really fucked them over. They were young and signed without reading the fine print, as a lot of musicians do." The twist here being that they're just fucking wrong.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
actually don't know what they're talking about,
Yeah. Yeah.
but they're confident. They're very confident about it.
Right. Yeah, it's funny. It feels like so grounded that like if you just came across this comment, you might think like, yeah, why not, you know? But I don't know. Yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah, it's good try, I guess. Next up, we have Ux Cursil from 2 years ago. They say 404. There's more to life than this Shikari subliminal post-mortem voodoo. Green spell, negative burning, hell awaits. Lead no creep nirvana.
Wow. I didn't understand all those words. It's cool. Enter Shikari shout out.
Yeah, well, and I was like, is it an Enter Shikari shout out? But I think it is because they do reference Nirvana too. I think
Yeah.
that I don't really get what they're doing, but they're doing something.
Yeah, I mean it sounds like they're trying to be like, oh, this is a weird error message kind of joke. I don't
Yeah, 404. Yeah, that's
right.
true.
Which at first I thought was going to be like 409 in your coffee maker kind of thing, but it's
I
not.
know they could have done so much with, especially with 86 being, this is so, but
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
whatever. Uh, Next up we have a little spin on the first comment we read. This is Nico Hells from 4 years ago. Nico says, "There's no return from anal sex."
Yeah,
It's a bit better.
it is. Yeah, I wonder if that's true. I mean, like, you ever just once, you know?
Yeah,
It seems like maybe you just
just once and then there's no return.
yeah, you know, uh, it feels like can you stuff that genie back in the bottle?
Hmm. Or is it just too loose now?
Right? Yeah, they are the one getting stuffed.
To the what? Yeah. Good question. We should ask the genie. See what they have to say. Uh, uh,
Yeah.
Anyways, it's funnier than the first one. I'll give Nico
Yeah,
that.
no, it is. It is. I feel like that's the
Um,
right way to tell the joke. Yeah.
yeah, I think so. And here's one that I saw pop up. Uh, Matthew Johnson 569 from 10 years ago says, "I remember hearing this on Joe's Apartment."
What does that
Apparently,
mean?
this was played on a show called Joe's Apartment.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea what that is.
What
I've done
is
no
that? Right.
research,
What is
but
that? What
it's
is that?
apparently it was a TV show, I guess, or I don't know.
Joe's Apartments? Really? Uh huh. Yeah. Wait. It's a 1996 comedy musical. It's a movie. Um. Okay. Does it feature a song? Does it feature 86? Is the real question. I don't know if Wikipedia is going to tell me, very obviously. I don't know, man. It seems like it's possible. Yeah,
Wait, is it from
it's
the 90s?
it is. Yeah, yeah, it came out in 96.
Okay, so the timelines match up.
Yeah, it doesn't like have like, oh, list of music. I mean, I'm just on Wikipedia. I don't know. But the tagline for the movie is sex, bugs, and rock and roll. So it sounds kind of funny. Um,
Maybe we'll watch it. Who knows?
I'm just like, come on. There's not like a. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. B. I think it's gonna give me the soundtrack. Hang on a second. We got Cat Rodeo, Sewer Surfing, Shooby Dooby Doo, Impossible Mission. Where the fuck is Green Day on this thing? Oh my god, 86 is on here. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. All right.
86 is on here for Joe's Apartment.
Joe's Apartment.
1996 comedy musical. Yeah, I mean, we watched Angus. Maybe we do gotta watch Joe's Apartment.
It sounds interesting. I have no idea what it's about, but sex,
Okay.
bugs, and rock and roll kind of sold me.
We'll keep it in mind. Maybe we'll come back to
Yeah.
it. We'll talk about it.
I got just a few left here. We have Lewis Goblin 4765 from 9 years ago. Lewis says green is the punkest color.
I don't know. I mean,
I
is
just
there a most punk color? I'm not sure there would be
Well, I
green.
can't think of another color that is more punk. Like, I think of green, obviously Green Day, but also green is like the color of puke, and puke is kind of punk.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. Um,
I don't know.
yeah, I don't really have like I don't think like a worthwhile follow up. I could tell you it wouldn't be black because that's
No.
just too obvious. That's like too try hard.
Well, that's also the
Um,
goth color. That can be
yeah,
goth or heavy metal, you know? So punk kind of exists.
for some reason, I also like. I feel like I would consider like a electric yellow or orange something like,
Yeah, I could see that maybe
you
too.
know, like
Yeah.
it's almost like a warning color. You know, not like
Yeah,
warning,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
like,
Mm.
you know, it's like I don't know. I don't know. But
Well,
you know what?
listeners,
Let's just say it's green.
if you have any thoughts on what the punkest color is, please let us know. If you think it's green, let us know. Let us know that as well. Uh, all right, we have Boogie Devil from 6 years ago. Boogie Devil says, unrelated topic. My phone is on 86% while listening to this song.
Ooh, okay. Good
What a
one.
fun coincidence. Not
Yeah.
really unrelated though. I don't think it's like it's not really unrelated. I think it's
Right. Yeah.
kind of
It is
kind of
related.
it is related to
Yeah.
yeah.
I think about stuff like that every now and then. You ever, you know, it's like you notice your phone's at 86% and you just
Yeah.
like silently think to yourself, you're like, hey, 86.
I just think of that guy, on the rehearsal, the first season of the rehearsal,
Yeah.
where the guy, what was his name? Whatever. He was gonna be in the house with the girl where they were raising the kid,
Yeah. Yeah.
and but
I know you're talking about. Yeah.
but he would always see the angel numbers where he was like, oh, 555. That means
I forgot.
that I was destined to do this. Oh well, it's 1111. Oh, that's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
sign from the Bible. Like, and just every fucking number he would see, he would look at, read into it a tremendous amount, and it
Right.
was just
But meanwhile, your angel numbers, you're like, oh, whoa, 16,
yeah.
86, 1000,
Oh,
409.
409.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wow,
I know.
this is there's
It's
something
because
here.
that's the beauty of the number verse, baby.
Yeah, those Connor, those are your angel blue numbers instead.
Fuck yeah, my angel blue numbers. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
100%. Now I'm in. Now I like it. Um, all right. Last but not least, we have Nun 4530 from 9 years ago. Nun says the chorus sounds like that song by Peter Frampton. Baby, I Love Your Ways, or something along those lines.
Wow, that's crazy.
So
Uh,
let's just do a comparison. So, baby, I love your ways, and then there's no return from '86.
yeah, I I can like 10% hear what they're thinking of, but
Yeah,
it still isn't like the same to me.
no. I mean, I think 10% is even generous.
Yeah.
There's like a bit of a you can make a leap to that, but
Mm-hmm.
but it still is a leap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not the biggest leap in the world, but it's still a leap.
Yeah. We have heard like more head scratching comparisons. Like there have been Green Day songs where we're discussing it and they're like, this kind of sounds like this, and we're just like, no
Yeah,
fucking way.
I know that's
What the
true.
fuck is wrong with you? This is like I I don't agree, but like I hear what they hear enough. I get what they
If
mean.
Yes, if the last song you listened to before '86 was "Baby, I Love Your Ways" by
Right,
Peter
yeah.
Frampton, then I can see it.
Yeah, yes. If you're like, oh yeah, okay, guy who's only listened to two songs,
Yeah,
getting
exactly.
some serious Peter Frampton vibes here.
Yes, this is there's some Boss Baby energy here.
Yeah.
Um, Connor, who the heck wins comment of the day?
Wow, I wish I knew. This is not a great bunch to pick
No.
from. I don't know. I'm like halfway between the angel numbers. My phone's at 86%, and
Mm.
then I don't know, no return from anal sex. Like I'm just
Oh
not
God.
really I'm not really sure who
Yeah.
to give this to.
All right, Connor. I'll be the tiebreaker here. I'll
Okay.
say we're going with the Angel Blue numbers.
Okay. I think that's
Just
the right call.
strictly because that helped us coin Angel Blue numbers,
Yeah, no,
which
I
is
think
a
that's
new part of Numberverse lore.
yes. Yeah.
Uh,
I'm going to be thinking about that every time I see a Green Day related
yeah,
number in my life now.
exactly. And so, folks listening, whenever you see 409, 86, 16, 80, I'm probably missing some. Uh, those are Angel Blue numbers, and it means that great things are destined to happen. So, bet on it. Uh, Connor, and sorry, I want to say, Boogie Devil, you are today's winner. Please reach out. We will reward you handsomely with a great prize. Um, Connor, any final thoughts on anything in today's episode before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I think we had a pretty good talk here. But I guess I gotta be honest. I feel like I don't know. Like 86 was a song that I feel like I've loved for a long time, and uh I think that we did a lot of good like looking deeply into it, and I think that our discussion was really solid. But I'm kind of left with this feeling of like there's more in 86. That's kind of what I'm sometimes we get done talking about a song and I'm like, man, I didn't think I was going to have that much to say about Geek Stink Breath. But with 86 it kind of feels like there's like this nagging sort of feeling. It's like I think there's more, and I think maybe it's because it's to me like 86 is very explicitly of course it's like kind of representative of a very big idea running through this album. It's like
Yeah.
people will either tell you this is the meth album or this is the Dookie Backlash album or both.
Yes.
And
Yep.
86 is the song that is exactly about that. um just like how I guess Geek Stink Breath is the meth song. But anyways,
Yeah, those are the
um,
two sides, the two ends of the
right.
spectrum of
And
Insomniac.
and so I don't know. It's like there's more to talk about, like what this song is about. There's more to say about it, and I think that is going to be uncovered more and more throughout the song. It's not that there's more to say or that like we missed a whole bunch to talk about 86 specifically, but I think the idea is so big and like bleeds over into these other songs that we're going to be talking about more of the same ideas as we make our way through the
Oh
latter
yeah.
half of Insomniac.
Oh, definitely. I think that's spot on. Yeah, it's a song that its weight is felt after it's done, and its shadow lingers on, and this story is not over. I referenced Rusty James earlier in the episode, and thematically, Connor, that is there's a very solid through line from '86 to Rusty James. That's about the punk scene in Gilman and stuff, just from a much farther vantage point. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, this song will live on in our conversations. I don't know until it's throughout the rest of their discography. So there's much more to talk about. Totally agreed. Um, and next week we can look forward to talking about Panic Song.
Yes. Yes.
That's gonna be fucking massive. I'm very excited about that one.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. It's very cool. And I was, just thinking too, like now that we've talked about 86, we have discussed half, which is also pretty crazy.
Yeah, shit, we're getting there.
It,
It feels it's
even though we had that little break, it feels like we're going through
yeah,
it fast to me.
it does. Yeah, it's gone fast. You're right. Um, Folks, if you like what you heard, please go to Apple Podcasts and or Spotify. Give us a 5-star rating and a glowing review. Much appreciated. You can follow us on anti-social media at Green Dudes Pod on both Twitter and Instagram. You can shoot us an email with your Green Day story at greendudespod@gmail.com. But most importantly, folks, until next time, stay
Stay punk.
punk. Stream over.